And we're underway as Clark is covered by Ferguson. The puck off the board, shot in by Lanny McDonald, who took a hit from Ed Van Imp. Jimmy Watson around the Lonsbury. Lonsbury checked by Lanny McDonald, and it goes to Ross Lonsbury, back of the net. Lonsbury, a pass to Ed Van Imp. Up for Clark. Not by Alexander, who knocked it right onto Jimmy Watson's stick. He shot it in, and it goes into Leaf territory. Alexander after it. Clark after him. Puck ends up with Clark trying to center it. Rod Sealing covered by Clark. Clark after him again. And this Bobby Clark is everywhere.
There we have a sad note to lead off with tonight. Our sincere sympathies go out tonight to all members of a famous hockey family, the Selke family. Mrs. Frank Selke Sr. passed away early today in Rigaud, Quebec. Mrs. Selke was the wife of Frank Selke Sr., one of hockey's great builders and a general manager both here in Toronto and Montreal. She was the mother of Hockey Night in Canada executive Frank Selke Jr.
Rick McLeish, number 19, with Dornhofer and Bill Barber. The puck going into the corner to Ian Turnbull. Turnbull coming out now to his own blue line up at center. Long shot. Bernie Perron handled that very easily, and Joe Watson scooped it around on the boards for Dornhofer. Dornhofer covered by Williams. The puck goes up to McLeish. McLeish a long shot into the corner, and it's Salming back of the net. Watch, the puck comes around on the boards. DuPont trying to keep it in. They do against the boards, and play is called, and we're in the second minute of the first period. No score.
Well, Bobby Clark is recognized everywhere as a hockey superstar, on the ice that is. But Bill, some of the players go for a walk with Clark, even in a hockey city like Toronto, and they tell me that he's very seldom recognized. He puts on the glasses, he wears an old pair of jeans and some clogs, and goes into a shopping plaza, and very seldom is he even noticed, very seldom even asked for an autograph. But here in the hockey arena and in the arenas around the league, he's recognized the moment he enters the door.
And of course that noise you heard was for Davy Schultz, number 8, playing out on the left wing with Kindrachuk and Selesky. Puck back of the Leaf net. There's no score in this first period. The Leafs have to win this one or it's all over. Dave Dunn coming up to center ice for the Leafs. They have yet to score a goal in 7 periods. It goes around on the board. Schultz bumps into Keon, knocked him down. Schultz after the puck. Schultz trying to bring it out. Up the center. He and Keon bump together. It goes in back of the Leaf net. Cleared around on the boards. Larry Goodenough out there couldn't get his shot, and Keon brings it back, but it was offside at the Leaf blue line.
Crowd getting quite upset over Dave Schultz in that battle along the boards with Dave Keon. They were jostling for possession. Keon, a tremendous favorite with the Toronto fans. Been that way for many years now. Schultz still avoiding that razor. Here it is along the near board, Schultz and Keon.
A tap on the head.
He's picking on one of the most popular guys in the league when he tangles with Keon.
Goes back to Dunn. Dunn of the Leafs, number 4, coming to his own blue line. Passed it behind Keon to McKinney. Kenny gets booed every time he touches the puck. Goes over to pick it up. Passed it back to Dunn. Dunn partially dumped. And Keon is offside, and that's brought back inside the blue line.
No question McKinney hears those boos too. He admits he heard them the other night. We noticed at the opening of the show how Rick McLeish went around him to make an excellent move, went in and scored.
Brian, Fred Shearo's using 4 lines with the exception of 1 man. They've got Clement out there at center now with Kelly on the left wing. Zaleski taking 2 shifts. Joe Watson for Kelly. Kelly and McKinney bumped together. Keon being watched by Clement. Keon shot it back of his own goal. Zaleski snapped by Neely. It comes out to Keon. Keon up at center. Over the line. Tried to slip it through for Blaine Stoughton. Stoughton poked it. Neely gets it out. Keon is Joe Watson got in front of that with a skate. Kelly covered by Keon. Keon gets it up to Stoughton. The shot is good.
the opening goal. And it was Blaine Stoughton taking a pass from Dave Keon. And they finally put the puck past Bernie Perrant. They couldn't score in the second game. They couldn't score in the third game. And now, here early in the first period, Blaine Stoughton drills one to the corner, taking an excellent pass from Dave
number
Keon.
17, Blaine Stoughton. Assist number 14, Dave Keon. The time, 2:47. Blaine Stoughton from Dave Keon. Time, 2:47.
2:47 is the time of Stoughton's goal from Keon. The Leafs lead it 1-0. Rod Seelig. A pass up for Ferguson, knocked down by Clark. Jimmy Watson off the boards now for Lonsbury. Shot right back into Philadelphia territory, and Jimmy Watson. Watched by Ferguson, who bumped into him. Back of the net for Jimmy Watson, watched by Lanny McDonald. Around it goes to Ross Lonsbury. Lonsbury to Clark to Lonsbury. And they shot it over the line and right back out again and down into Philadelphia territory, and it's off the boards. Lonsbury. Jimmy Watson. Back to Clark. Clark up at center. Over the line with Reggie Leach. Leach going in. He shoots, score! Leach ties it up for Philadelphia, and that didn't take long.
Well, it was a similar shot in many respects, coming from pretty much the same angle on the ice as Stoughton's goal. Both low shots, both to the corner. And here it is on the replay. Sharp angle shot. Boy, he showed a lot of muscle being able to ward off a check and get that puck away as he did. Reggie Leach ties it up from a sharp angle. Ray lifting that right leg up, but not in time.
Reggie Leach from Bobby Clark and Jim Watson. Time, 3:38.
There's the time, 3:38. Here they come back again. Clark for Lonsbury, and Salming hits it ahead to Sittler. Sittler over the blue line. And he's covered by Goodenough, and the puck to Andre Dupont. Leach tried to break away, and Salming got back to cover up. Salming's pass for Ian Turnbull goes back to Salming. Salming then to Sittler. Sittler coming up at center. There's going to be a penalty here to the Flyers Lonsbury when play is stopped. Sittler over to Salming. They got 6 attackers. Over here to Turnbull. Turnbull moves up. He was given a terrific jolt by Clark. Lonsbury stole the puck, and then the play is called. Interference against Lonsbury.
Philadelphia assembly number 18, Ross Lonsbury. Equivalent for interference. Time 4:30. Ross Lonsbury for interference.
Here's that goal by the Philadelphia Flyers. Reg Leach from the circle. That was a fine shot, catching the corner of the Leaf goal behind McRae. And seconds earlier, it was Stoughton shooting from a somewhat similar angle against Bernie Perrant to get the first goal of the game, and Stoughton's 4th playoff marker. 1-1 tie.
Sittler out there with Williams and Ellis, along with Salming and Turnbull. Flyers are short-handed. They have Kindrachuk and Clement. Goes back to Salming. Salming over to Ellis. Ellis coming up over the blue line. He's checked. Got in by Salming offside.
Here we are behind the Philadelphia Flyers bench. Fred Shiro, always very calm, moving slowly back and forth behind his players.
Score is tied 1-1. Stoughton from Keon, 2:47. Leach from Clark and Jimmy Watson. And it's offside again at 3:38 was the time of the Philadelphia goal. Lonsbury has a minute and 40 seconds remaining in his penalty. Bernie Perrant. Sittler with Williams and Ronnie Ellis, Salming and Turnbull, Clement, Kindrachuk, Ed Van Imp, Jimmy Watson. Tiger Williams turning at center. Williams over the red line, flicks it in, goes after it himself, but it's Kindrachuk there first. He's lost it to Sittler, shot over to the open wing, Salming getting around Clement, and he's not. The shot goes wide of the net. Sittler back of the goal, trying to center it, still has it, play is called, and there's penalties.
I believe it might be Ed Van Imp and Tiger Williams who are mixing it up in front of Bernie Parent. Williams trying to get in position. You can see the argument that results between Williams and referee Wally Harris. Harris, the referee tonight, Ron Finn and John D'Amico, the linesman. Sittler, while this was going on, was fighting for possession. You can see Ed Van Imp move in and get the stick up around the ear of Williams, and Williams retaliates.
5-14. Dave Williams for cross-checking.
So you see on the sports timer here at the Gardens, the time to play is 14:46, and the time up above with the penalties. Lansbury 1:16, and of course Williams a full 2 minutes. We're playing 5-a-side, and the score is tied 1-1.
Ed Van Imp is rather fortunate to get off there.
Puck taken by Kindrachuk, gets it to Joe Watson. Joe Watson shot the puck off the boards. Hammerstrom back for it, flipped it into the corner. Zaleski covered by Hammerstrom. Then the puck ends up back of the net. Kindrachuk trying to center it. He's got the puck loose. Still has it back of the net. Fighting to center it. Kindrachuk still with it. Kindrachuk still with the puck. Gets it to Zaleski. Zaleski around, back of the net. He's grabbed by Turnbull, trying to come out in front. Zaleski fights for it again, and the puck finally goes loose to Hammerstrom. Hammerstrom to Ullman. Ullman up at center, over the blue line. Stopped by Dupont. And Dupont goes for a slide. That's where the face-off will be.
And as Red Kelly looks up at the clock, somewhere along the way, he must be wondering if this will be his last evening behind the Leaf bench for this season. Looking back, it's been a troubled season for him. And it started off on such an optimistic note after the training camp. I can recall him telling the reporters gathered around that he had an excellent feeling about this Leaf team this year.
Puck goes to Jimmy Watson, number 20, to Larry Goodenough. Ran into Dunn. Dunn went down heavily. Goodenough then feeds it up to Jimmy Watson, going down with Clark. Jimmy Watson took a shot off McKinney. Rick McCleish missed the puck. Lanny McDonald shot it up the center. Goodenough over to Jimmy Watson. Now then the Flyers have the advantage. The puck going in. Lanny McDonald after it. Puck is to Ferguson. Checked by Clark. Clark centered it. There's a shot. That goes over here to Jimmy Watson. A shot. Hit the goalpost. Lanny McDonald shoots it down the ice. That one was right off the post. Larry Goodenough. Ahead to Reggie Leach. Leach. Over to Joe Watson. Long shot. McRae was having trouble with that one for some reason, but fortunately McLeish was offside.
And earlier, as you say, one right off the goalpost. Even before that, Dave Dunn lined up Larry Goodenough with a check, but it was Dunn who went down heavily.
Score is tied 1-1 with 12:51 remaining. 5 seconds left in Tiger Williams' penalty. Gary Dornhofer, Bill Clement, and Bill Barber, along with Tom Bladen and Joe Watson. Salming flipped the puck out. Joe Watson after it. Dave Williams is on the ice. Joe Watson, pass to Clement. Up for Barber, then back to Clement. Clement to Barber. Barber takes a long shot. McRae's handled that. It's off the boards for Earl Thompson. He knocked it back to Dunn. Dunn just gets rid of it down the ice. Watson could have made a play on it, so Joe Watson has to go back for it. Round on the boards to Gary Dornhofer. Up for Clement. He poked it over the line. Barber after it. Sealing. Beat with a puck by Barber. And they try to center it. Back it comes to Tom Bladen. Bladen shot one. It comes out over the line, and Earl Thompson couldn't get to it. Now then, Barber knocks them off the puck. Sealing shoots it out. Earl Thompson to Ferguson. Ferguson coming over the blue line. Tried to send it through for Lanny McDonald. And it's Bill Barber. A pass for Bill Clement too far. Rod Sealing. Over for Alexander. A long shot. That's off the board. Now it's Tom Bladen. Bill Clement knocked it over the line. And it's Keon bringing it back. Keon coming up the center, over the line, takes his shot. Ernie Pratt stopped that. Jimmy Watson to Dave Schultz. Schultz at his own blue line, up the center. He gets over the line, trying to go through the defense. Alexander had him covered. Ed Van Impe missed Neely. Bob Kelly ran into Neely, picks up his glove, and goes. Jimmy Watson goes after it. And the Leafs are going to be called for icing.
We've got a 1-1 tie, 10:59 left to play, and a few minutes ago, here was that shot that got in behind Gord McRae, went right off the goalpost.
Kindrechek, Schultz, and Kelly. The puck comes back to Ed Van Impe. Ed Van Impe shoots! And that went wide of the corner. Lane Stoughton. Stopped by Kelly. Kelly centered it, and Schultz just took a whack at it and missed. Leafs backed up in their own end. McKinney. Back, Dunn. Shot it around on the board. Jimmy Watson keeping it in. So is Kelly. To Kindrechek, and Neely has it. Neely couldn't get by center. It's shot right back by Schultz. In back of the Leaf net. McKinney. Checked by Kelly, and Neely just shoots it down the ice. Good enough. He'll touch it, and that's good enough for a faceoff.
Oh, very good, Bill. Gotta be listening to you tonight. Fred Shiro behind that Flyer bench. One of the broadcasters was telling me, Bill, that they played a game, I guess, in Chicago not so long ago, and he said to Fred, "What do you think of the game tonight, Fred?" This was after it was over. They were on their way to the airport, and he said, "I never think anything about the games. Once they're done, they're done. You start to think about those games, you'll drive yourself crazy." He's a bit of an enigma, Fred Shiro.
Clark lost the draw, and it's Ian Turnbull back of the goal. Turnbull takes a look. Clark is, look where he's standing. They're right in the goal crease, right by the goal crease. Turnbull trying to find a man in position. He does. Sittler coming up at center. Long shot off the board. And he just failed to get his shot. Sittler centered it for Ellis' shot. And that was stopped by Bernie Perron. Reggie Lease to Ross Lonsbury. Shot it down the ice. Turnbull going after it. Icing is the call against Philadelphia.
Bobby Clark and Turnbull colliding in behind that Leaf goal. The crowd reacting to Clark, who got an elbow up on Turnbull. Actually, no need for it because icing was called, and I'm sure both players knew it. Turnbull wasn't expecting that kind of treatment on an icing play.
We have 9 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the first period. The score is tied 1-1.
There's that play again. Look at Clark, 16, get the butt of the stick up in Turnbull's ear.
Sittler won the job, but the puck comes all the way out to center ice. Leach with Clark and Schultz. Schultz failed to get over the line. Salming cleared it, and it goes to Tom Bladen. Off the boards for Leach. He shot the puck in. Turnbull and Leach bump together. Now then Salming. He's dumped. That'll be a penalty there to Leach for tripping.
Philadelphia nominate number 27, Reggie Leach.
2 minutes for tripping. Time 10:45. Reggie Leach for tripping.
Reggie Leach off for tripping at 10:45. The Leafs will have the manpower advantage, and high in the rafters we have a lot of hockey scouts in attendance here tonight watching the action. They got a good seat up there.
Jimmy Watson up at center ice for Boris Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk gets it back to Jimmy Watson. Over to Ed Van Imp. Van Imp just shoots it out to center ice, and Keon is there. Keon at his own blue line. Passes to Darryl Sittler. Sittler coming up. He fakes the shot, lets it go. That's wide of the net. Jimmy Watson clearing it. The puck is still in. Ellis has sent it.
The Leafs couldn't buy a goal the other night or in the game before, but they seem to have the shooting eye and sharp focus tonight, and Ron Ellis gets their second goal. Ellis has had a lot of tough luck in this series against the Flyers, but he finds an opening there and beats Bernie Perrant. Here it is again. The Leafs' second goal. They lead it 2-1.
Assist number 21, Borja Salming, and number 22, Dave Williams. The time 11:17. Ron Ellis from Borja Salming and Dave Williams. Time 11:17.
11:17 is the time of that goal. And it's 2-1 for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this first period. Pass up for Lanny McDonald, broken up. Barber shot it over the line, and Sealing gets it out again. But Lanny McDonald stopped by Dupont, and shot it right back again. Ends up back of the net in Leaf territory with 8:09 to go in the first period. Sealing getting it up to the blue line to Ferguson. For Lanny McDonald, that goes down to Perrant. Perrant handed it back around, and back comes Andre Dupont up at center. Failed to get over the line. Now then Dornhofer. Over the line. Alexander got in front of him, and Lanny McDonald passed it back to Alexander, up to Ferguson. Ferguson coming down over the line. Offside was Alexander.
Well, you know, when a team plays a goaltender like Bernie Perrant, they know before they start that they're going to be lucky to get 2 goals a game. The Leafs here tonight dreaming the impossible dream, perhaps, but this shot by Ron Ellis beats Perrant, puts the Leafs in front 2-1. Salming and Williams drawing assists on it. Ellis scored 32 goals during the regular season. That's his second playoff goal.
Reggie Leach gets it back to Bladen. Bladen over to Joe Watson. Back to Bladen. Bladen flipped it up at center. There's a race for it. Clark and McKinney. The puck is loose, and it comes back to the blue line. Joe Watson is shot. Clark after it. He's jammed against the boards by McKinney. They try to dig it out. Play is called.
Well, Clark's a hard worker in those corners. George Ferguson getting some refreshment at the Leaf bench.
Keon against Clark. Off the boards. McKenney feeds Keon. Keon's pass up to Neely. Neely over the line, fakes his shot. Left it there. The puck caroms loose. Layden knocked it off the boards. And back comes Lonsbury. Lonsbury shot it over the line outside.
Toronto leading Philadelphia 2-1, 6:49 left, first period. During the first intermission tonight, Dave Hodge will be talking with Ian Turnbull of the Leafs. We'll look at playoff highlights from other series, and Howie Meeker will be back with his analysis of this first period of action, plus the highlights.
Play underway, Ian Turnbull has the puck, shot it up to center ice. Lonsbury covered by Blaine Stoughton. Play is called. Toronto 2, Philadelphia 1. Horace Kindertruck at center ice with Selesky on one wing and Dave Schultz on the other. Back to Ed Van Imp. Van Imp's pass deflected at the Leaf blue line. Turnbull cleared it, but Jimmy Watson shoots it right back. Offside is Kindertruck.
Glance into the Leaf executive box. Clancy's got a good grip on that gum again tonight, Bill.
Sure has. Salming to Sittler. Sittler back to Turnbull. Turnbull moves up with a long shot off the boards. Jimmy Watson then for Ed Van Imp. And Imp and Williams bump together, and that's where play ends.
Bill Fudd seems like he's in a pretty good mood tonight. Looks like Willie Brossart there next to him.
Sittler won the draw. Selesky tried to get out. Williams had him handcuffed. Williams in the corner there, shoved around. The puck goes to Salming, being shoved by Kindertruck, and that's where play stops.
Ed Van Imp, the veteran rear guard for the Flyers, had such a strong game here. Now we have Schultz and Williams mincing words down there. John D'Amico keeping peace. For a guy who has barely more than one or two words to say off the ice, Schultz certainly a talkative fellow when he gets into a hockey uniform.
Toronto 2, Philadelphia 1. 6:04 remaining in the period. Salming covered by Schultz. Knocked down. That goes to Kindertruck. Kindertruck around on the boards for Schultz. Schultz tipped Ron Ellis into the boards. Trying to get the puck out. Selesky and Schultz.
Look at this. Look at this. Schultz puts his head in his hockey glove. Just can't believe that call from referee Wally Harris. Ronnie Finn intercedes.
Philadelphia penalty
Number 8, Dave Schultz, 2 minutes for high sticking. Toronto penalty to number 21, Borja Salming, 2 minutes for high sticking. The time 14:11. For Philadelphia, Dave Schultz, high sticking. For Toronto, Borja Salming, high sticking.
Here's how this happened. Borje Salming and Dave Schultz go for high sticking. Schultz taking Ellis out of the play, and then he and Salming get the sticks up.
Philadelphia in possession as the puck goes to Joe Watson on the left side, coming up with Bladen, Barber, and McLeish. A pass for Rick McLeish goes right on McRae. McRae scooped it up to Hammerstrom. McLeish ran over McRae and fell down. Back comes McKinney over the line. McKinney takes his shot, and Bernie Frank loved that. Tom Bladen. Off the boards to Watson. To Barber. Barber coming up the center. He's checked by McKinney. McKinney shot it to an open wing, and it's picked up by Dunn. Dunn comes over the line. Dropped it back to Hammerstrom. Shot it across into the corner. Joe Watson. Into Bladen. Leafs out skating the Flyers at this point, but now then it's Bill Barber. At his own blue line with McLeish at center. Over the line. Going around McKinney. Sending it right front to McLeish. Back up for Ullman. Over the line. Checked by McLeish. Rick McLeish then checked by Ullman. Rick McLeish intercepts the puck. Gets over the line. Trying to cut in. And he rolled it in front. There's going to be a penalty to Hammerstrom for holding.
Inga Hammerstrom dragged McLeish down, breaking in from the right wing. Here's McLeish trying to bull his way past Hammerstrom, and he's brought to the ice. So referee Wally Harris ruling with a rigid hand here tonight.
2 minutes for holding. The time 15:36. Inga Hammerstrom for holding.
15:36, the time of the penalty to Inga Hammerstrom. At 14:11, Schultz and Salming went off for high sticking. They're still in the box, as you can see. That's Norm Ullman at the Leaf bench, who was just out there with Hammerstrom. I think Red Kelly is urging his players to try to outskate the Flyers tonight, not outmuscle them.
So far, they lead 2-1 over the Philadelphia Flyers in this first period with 4:24 left. But the Flyers will have the advantage. 5 men to 4. Comes back from Clark to good enough to Reggie Leach. Leach. Then into Clark. Clark back to Leach. Leach shoots. Score! Bullet-like shot.
What a shot by Reggie Leach. They make it look so easy when they have that man advantage. This time it was Bobby Clark and Leach. Well, they did all the work on this. There's Clark taking that pass in the corner, spots Leach, moves into position, then drills that hard shot. McRae was screened on it, as you could see, as Sealing had his man tied up in front. Again, you can see McRae having to lean back from the shot, and I believe that might have bounced in off Sealing, just ticking him as it went by.
15:48.
15:48. Reggie Leach gets his second of the first period. Harvey Clark has set up both of them.
They gave another assist on that, did they not?
Yeah, very good enough. Score is tied, 2-2. With Clark having possession of the puck over the line, takes his shot, and McRae stopped that. Clark goes after it again, trying to get it out in front of the net. Fights for it against the boards, and they hold it in the lead zone to the left.
Clark has been a big man for the Flyers already in this hockey game. We've got 4 minutes to play. First period, it's a 2-2 tie. And he engineered that tying goal by Leach just seconds ago. Difficult to fault Gord McRae on this one when he had traffic in front as he did. Here's the shot again. And you can see two bodies right in front of the Leaf goaltender.
Perfect shot up high, Brian. McLeish and Ferguson with Rod Sealing coming up with the puck back of the net. McLeish up forechecking him. That gets it over into the corner. Alexander, then a pass that Sealing nearly lost, but he got it up to Ferguson. Back out on the ice is Salming, along with Schultz. There's going to be a penalty here as Jimmy Watson grabbed the hold of Lanny McDonald. That's holding.
We've got a steady parade to that penalty box already in this hockey game.
7 penalties.
Now it's Watson's turn. He's got that left hand, pretty good grip on Lanny McDonald. As McDonald wheels in the corner.
2 minutes for holding.
Holding the call.
16,
Here it is again.
19. Jim Watson for holding.
So with the score tied 2-2, the Leafs now taking advantage in manpower, 6-5. And we'll see what they can do. Stoughton, Leach, Ellis, and Leach have been the goal scorers in this first period. Clark chased out of the center's off circle. Sittler wants Ellis to move up behind him. They don't like where Ellis is lining up, but the Leafs lost the draw as Barber and Sittler start mixing it up, and it's shot down the ice, and going back for it is Salming. 3 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the first period, a 2-2 tie. Salming, a pass to Sittler. He missed it. Clark, a hold of the puck. Gets it ahead to Barber. One man back. Barber over the line. Clark goes in. Clark still has it. Right in. Oh, and he missed the short side. Clark gets it back, and Andre Dupont goes all the way back inside his own blue line. Now he moves up at center and then turns around. Now he flips it down the ice, and there's a minute and 11 seconds left in the penalty as Ian Turnbull starts up. McLeish out there. McLeish checks Sittler, but Salming follows. Up to center, over for Sittler, who was given a bump. McLeish bumped into Salming. Rick McLeish lost the puck. Sittler knocked it back. Ian Turnbull. His shot is deflected to Gary Dornhofer. Dornhofer gets it out. And Ellis brings it back with a hard shot. He just missed. Rick McLeish cleared it but not out. Turnbull's shot is high. That bounces. Watson missed it. And it's cleared up for Dornhofer. Out to McLeish. McLeish. Up at center. Flipped it in. He's too tired. He couldn't go anywhere. And Salming has to go back forward with 20 seconds left in the penalty. Pass to Sittler. Sittler coming to his own blue line. Up to center ice. Over the line. Stopped by Dupont, who flicked it out. 5 seconds left in the penalty. 1:45 to go in the period. A 2-2 tie. Now back on the ice, Jimmy Watson. Flipped it back. Lane Stoughton to Dave Keon. Keon over the line with Bob Neely. Passed it through. Jimmy Watson breaks that up. Coming up to center. Watson, a pass over here to Dornhofer. And it was offside. Ross Lonsbury on the left wing.
Gary Dornhofer skating back, and Bill, excluding the first half of the first game in this series, for the first time the Leafs appear that they belong on the same rink with the Philadelphia Flyers. They've skated with them, skated well. They've been able to solve the mystery of Bernie Parent not once but twice in the very first period. It's a 2-2 tie, 1:23 left on the clock.
Kindrachuk, Lonsbury, the puck rolls over the line, knocked back out again to Leach. Leach for Kindrachuk. Puck is kept in. Kindrachuk knocked it to the boards. Lonsbury is covered by Blaine Stoughton and Rod Sealing. Back of the net. Shot it over on the far wing to Alexander. Alexander pass at center. Kindrachuk stopped that. Alexander goes back. Less than a minute to go in the first period, and it's tied up 2-2. Twice the Leafs had the lead, and twice the Flyers have come back to tie it. Long pass at center for Leach. Stopped by Sealing. Sealing just flips it down the boards, and it's back for Jimmy Watson. Pass for Kindrachuk. Kindrechuk with 36 seconds. Pass to Lonsbury. Stoughton. And it's intercepted by Kindrechuk. He had a clear path to the net, but it was a delayed whistle offside at the blue line.
He was saying not so long ago he got into a cab here in Toronto, and the cabbie looked around, said, "Are you Kindrechuk?" And he said, "That's right." He said the rest of the conversation all the way to Maple Leaf Gardens was Ukrainian.
Half a minute left in the first period, a 2-2 tie. Clark knocked it to an open wing. The puck is knocked in by Tom Bladen. That was stopped. Came in, hit the back of the net. McKinney flicks it around on the boards for Lanny McDonald. McLeish stopped it. McLeish with 18 seconds. Shot it in, back of the Leaf goal. Cray stopped it there. Dunn, Thompson, Barber, and Ferguson comes up with it to Dunn. Up at center. And that's broken up by Clark. Clark just shoots it back in again, and there goes the bell, and the first period is over. Ends in a 2-2 tie, and now here's Dave Hart. Van Impe shot it from his own side of center. Orange tied 2-2.
Leafs making a quick change. Doug Favell at the Leaf bench, having a word with Errol Thompson as he skates off. Favell left the Leaf practice yesterday, a little upset according to reports, but all is harmonious now, obviously, from the look on Favell's face.
Here's a shot by Salming high, and that was from the faceoff by Sittler, so it'll come outside the blue line.
They described Favell's departure yesterday as a misunderstanding.
McLeish with Dornhofer and Bill Barber, along with Joe Watson, Andre Dupont. Barber back to Joe Watson. Watson then over to Dupont. Dupont off the boards for Gary Dornhofer. He couldn't get anywhere, and Williams shot the puck into Leaf territory. Joe Watson coming out slowly, pass to Dupont. Dupont coming to the blue line, up the center. He shoots it in, and it goes in back of the Leaf net. McRae to Salming. Dornhofer took a slide. McLeish let one fly. Dornhofer and Williams bumped together. Back up for Sittler. Sittler takes a long shot off the boards. Ellis goes after it. McLeish is there with him. Bill Barber and Salming bump together. McLeish and Barber make sure there's no further play, but the Leafs are forechecking in Philadelphia territory.
Bill, during the annual Canadian Forces base.
Bill Clement, number 10 of Philadelphia, moves up the center, covered by Keon. Then he carries over the line, getting around Dunn, going in with a backhand, and that shot was covered by McRae on the short side. Back comes Wayne Stoughton, up the center, shot the puck in off the boards. Zaleski starting out now as Neely fell. Don Zaleski up at center. He can't get by center. Over the line now for Jimmy Watson. He shoots. That's right in front. Goes over to the wing. Zaleski after it. Clement gets in there as well. Clement knocked off the puck by Dunn, and it comes out to Blaine Stoughton going down with Keon. Over the line. Back to Stoughton. He rolled it near the net. Bernie Pratt out of the goal to Dave Schultz. Round for Zaleski. Don Zaleski knocked it out. Schultz goes after it, and Jim McKinney. Clearing pass to Keon. Keon coming down over the blue line with Stoughton. Stoughton is shot. That's off the side of the net. Bobby Clark has got the puck. Clark coming up the center. Over the line. Tried to go through the defense. Here's Lonsbury right in. The goal. Oh, McKinney just pulled it out as it was going in the net. It was rolling to the goal crease and the goal line, and he got a hold of it with his stick. Lonsbury just gets rid of the puck to center ice. Alexander a long shot off the boards. Joe Watson coming out. Up to center, along with Leach. Leach takes the pass. Man into Alexander. Ferguson Failed to get it out. Joe Watson has shot. Hits Alexander, and Alexander comes back. To Lanny McDonald over the line. There's his shot. Ernie Pratt stopped that. Goes in back to the net. Tom Bladen. Round for Lonsbury. Up to Clark. Clark to Leach. Over the line. Leach took a shot. Goes after the rebound. The puck is loose. Leach has got it. He's coming out in front. And he couldn't get a shot. And Lanny McDonald comes back up at center. There's his shot. And that's weak and wide on a deflection. Tom Bladen around for Leach. There's a shot by Williams. It's wide. Ross Lonsbury comes up the center. He flicks one in. Wide of the net. And it's Williams. Back of the goal. Dornhofer after him. Salming bumped into him. Up for Williams. Passed it back to Turnbull. Ahead to Salming. And a long shot off the boards. Dornhofer has it. Gary Dornhofer. Taken off the puck by Williams. DuPont shot it out over the blue line. Good enough. Ahead to McLeish. One man back. McLeish closes in. Took his shot. Has another one. Goes around back of the net. Cleared it back to DuPont and shot right on. And McLeish stopped that. Shot down the ice. DuPont gets back. Goes into the corner to Dornhofer. Back to DuPont. Andre DuPont coming straight down the ice at center. Takes a long shot into the corner. Bill Barber goes after it. The puck ends up on Salming's stick to Darryl Sittler. A 2-2 tie in the second period. Over the line for Sittler. Took his shot wide. Turnbull moves up. He's bumped by Dornhofer. Shot around on the boards. Ellis missed it. And it's brought back by Barber. Barber couldn't get over the line. Ed Van Imp. He's covered. Ellis gets a break. Tried a pass for Salming. He's dumped. And there's going to be a penalty there. Bill Barber for tripping. With 14:26 remaining in the second period, the score, the Leafs 2 and the Philadelphia Flyers 2.
I thought it might have been McLeish.
Philadelphia penalty to number 7, Bill Barber. 2 minutes for tripping. The time 5:34. Bill Barber for tripping.
Awfully lucky on that one. It was going in the net.
First penalty, second period. Barber off for tripping, 5:34. Bill, it was questionable whether McLeish or Barber tripped Salming. He went over McLeish's stick and then over the outstretched elbow of Bill Barber. Barber got tabbed for the penalty, tripping, 5:34.
The puck goes sliding into the corner. Ed Van Imp covered by Williams, and that's where play ends.
They're still buzzing about that close call in front of Gordon McRae or behind Gordon McRae when Jim McKenney, who's been roundly booed here during this series, certainly deserves credit for making a fantastic save right here. McKenney, very cool and alert, spun that puck around and got it out of there before it rolled over the goal line.
Clark, perfect play to get it on back of the net. Bill Clement shot it down the ice, and there's a minute and 47 seconds left in the penalty as Keon back of the Leaf net. Clark up there forechecking, but Keon Cooley gets it out here on the right wing to Ellis. Ellis goes straight down to center, up over the blue line, stops there, trying to find a man in position. Finds Sittler. Sittler centered it, Salmon got a shot. Jimmy Watson gives it to Clement and Clark. One man back. The Leafs trying to get back. Clark over the line, he shoots. And McRae snapped back. Clark stole it. And slipped it out in front. Sittler comes back with Williams. Over the line. Williams a hard shot on the short side. Sittler in the corner. Centered it right back to Keon to Salmon. Salmon shot. Hit Clement and Jimmy Watson. Up to Clement. Clement to Jimmy Watson. Too far as Ellis got a piece of it. Oriya Salming coming back. A pass to Keon. Keon Stopped by Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk. He lost it to Sittler. Sittler shoots the puck in, and Ed Van Imp is back there. Up for Jimmy Watson, who's bumped. Kindrachuk against the boards. It goes to Salming. Salming's shot is high over top of the net. Williams trying to center it, and he shot it down the ice. 23 seconds left in the penalty to Barber. Salming off the boards to Lanny McDonald. Back to Salming. Salming stopped by Kindrachuk, and Kindrachuk lost at the Turnbull as Lanny McDonald and Errol Thompson bumped together. And Joe Watson shoots it down the ice. And there's 2 seconds left in Barber's penalty, and he's getting back on the ice now. There he goes. Errol Thompson at his own blue line, up the center. Shot the puck into Philadelphia territory. Joe Watson, around it comes to Barber. Barber, pass to McLeish. McLeish over the line, takes the shot, and that was caught by McRae. Dunn clearing it to McKinney. Up to Lanny McDonald, to Ferguson. He's checked. Rick McLeish is dumped by Ferguson. It goes back to Joe Watson. Back to Watson from DuPont. Joe Watson coming up the center. Gets over the line, but not the puck. Gary Dornhofer. Over the line, Dornhofer going in with a pass for Barber. Oh! Dornhofer to Billy Barber, and it's 3-2 Philadelphia.
Give Gary Dornhofer full marks on this play. He did some very deft stick handling along that Leaf blue line and inside it. Watch again by Ferguson. Here comes Dunn at him. He's around Dunn. McKinney's there. He flips it through to Barber, and he slides one underneath McRae. 3-2 Flyers. Gary Dornhofer, a big man on this play. Barber on the receiving end. Gets control and slides it through. Pretty play by the Flyers.
Time 8:22. Bill Barber from Gary Dornhofer and Joe Watson. Time 8:22.
8:22, Barber from Dornhofer and Joe Watson, and it's 3-2 for the Philadelphia Flyers. Have the lead for the first time in the game. Joe Watson coming down the ice again for Philadelphia. Knocked it over the line. He and Sealing go after it. Watson tried to get it back. Lonsbury gets into it. Passed it back. There's a shot right on as Leach let it fly. Leach up at center. Stopped by Clark. Bobby Clark over. Stopped by Elma. Now it's up for Ross Lonsbury. He left it there. Down goes Alexander. Clark centered it back. Kept in off the boards from Bladen to Lonsbury. Into Clark. Clark still has it in the corner. Tried to get it back to the blue line. He did. DuPont knocked it back into the corner. Sealing. He stopped. Lonsbury tried to center it, and it comes out over the blue line. Tom Bladen knocked it over the line. Flyers are changing on the go. Sealing to Elman. Over the line for Blaine Stout. Knocked out over the blue line. Leafs seem to be tiring a little bit here as they are trailing 3-2 with 10:18 remaining in the period. Andre Dupont over to Zaleski. Don Zaleski gives it to Oris Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk and Zaleski going down together. Over the line to Zaleski going in, and he couldn't get a shot as Salming came from nowhere. Schultz back to Zaleski. Right in front of the net. The shot hit the goalpost by Kindrachuk. And good enough for try. Zaleski centered it again. Schultz missed it. Williams coming up the center. He shot the puck in. Back of the net. Philadelphia Flyers bring it out. Up to center ice for DuPont. He shot it in. McRae stopped that. Left it there. Zaleski centered it, and Schultz missed it. Harry good enough back for it. Ellis after him. Up to Bill Clement. Bill Clement for Schultz. Then Salming is covered by Clement. The puck goes into Philadelphia territory. Larry Goodenough lost the puck. It came out in front. Dave Schultz knocked it back. Jimmy Watson up to Clement. Over and a quick pass for Schultz at center. Salming went down. Flyers have the puck over the line. Schultz goes after it. Schultz still with it. Centered it right in front. Clement went after it. Jimmy Watson, a backhand. Here's right in front for Clement. A backhand. Hit the side of the net. Back it comes to Ed Van Imp. He shoots. Right on. And they bang out another one as McRae was spun around in the goal crease. Harold Thompson to Sittler. Big shot. And Bernie Prawn stopped that. Back of the net. Philadelphia Flyers bring it out. Jimmy Watson up the center. Over the red line and shoots it into Leaf territory. 8:24 to go in the second period. 3-2 Philadelphia. Pass to McKenny, lost it. Rick McLeish. Over the line. Here's going in as Leach. Right on goal. Pass it right in front. Oh, and Kelly tried to put it in the net. It's right in front. Banged up to the blue line. Ellis can't get it out. Finally knocked up to center ice. Off the boards for Bob Kelly. Here's a pass for McLeish offside at the Leaf blue line. This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Bill, that go-ahead goal by Bill Barber, set up so beautifully here by Dornhofer, seems to have made the Leafs wilt completely. A tremendous surge by Philadelphia. They've certainly dominated play for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
McKenny gets it over to Dunn. Dunn brings the puck up the center. Shoots it into Philadelphia territory. Flyers around on the boards for Barber. Barber stopped by McKenny. Barber falls. McLeish trying to get to it. Ferguson is checked by McLeish. And the puck slides out and down to center ice. Dunn after it. Dunn's pass for Ferguson. Stopped by Joe Watson. Watson up to Barber. Barber coming up at center. Takes a long shot. McRae left a big rebound. Cleared it to the blue line. Watson is there. He shot it right back again, and McKenny has it. McKenny's pass is tipped to Dornhofer. Over to McLeish. Takes his shot at the goalpost. And they bang at it again. And McRae gets that one. Rick McLeish had that one right along the ice and hit the post and came right out again.
All the Leafs getting badly rattled now. McKenny putting that pass right onto the stick of a Flyer.
This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
I want to see Shaq's dune buggy. Here's another look at that shot off the post, and the rebound right there. The Flyers unable to put it in, and McRae has held the Leafs in there.
Rick McLeish hitting that goal post. Now we have Clark at center, Lonsbury and Leach. Lonsbury against Keon. Keon won the draw into the corner to ceiling. He's jammed by Lonsbury. The puck came back to the blue line. Leach kept it in for Clark. Clark, and it's right in front for Leach, and Leach just failed to get to it. Lonsbury. Keon knocked it. There's a shot by Goodenough off ceiling. Lonsbury back to the net, trying to center it. He does, right in front of Goodenough. There's a shot, and that was stopped. And it's brought back by the Leafs. Keon coming at center, over the line. He's checked by Dupont. He left the puck there. Neely gets the shot. Just failed to put it in the empty net, as the Leafs came awfully close. Puck back at center. Ian Turnbull shot it in. Dupont for Lonsbury. Clark gets in there. Play is called with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left.
Close call there for Blaine Stoughton, as Goodenough got caught in the Leaf zone. The young defenseman playing a strong game for the Flyers. That's Ross Lonsbury skating off. Guy Lafleur's fourth playoff goal has given Montreal a 1-0 lead over Vancouver in the second period. Lafleur has scored an enormous number of goals for the Canadiens during the regular season, 53 of them, a record. Has his fourth for Montreal in that game against Vancouver from Cournoyer.
Very good. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the second period. Philadelphia 3, Toronto 2. Sittler, Williams, and Ellis. And for the Philadelphia Flyers, Kindrachuk, Kelly, and Zaleski. The puck goes back to Jimmy Watson. Jim Watson back of the net. Now he starts out with Kindrachuk and Kelly. Long shot for Kelly. Puck goes into the corner. Salming got there first, and it's icing.
We have Kelly dropping the gloves now and trying to get at Tiger Williams. Quite a flurry of punches thrown by Kelly. He didn't wait. All it took was one small challenge, and he was ready to let fly at Tiger Williams.
Philadelphia penalty to number 9, Bob Kelly, 2 minutes for roughing. Toronto penalty to number 22, Dave Williams, 2 minutes for roughing. Time 14:03. For Philadelphia, Bob Kelly roughing. For Toronto, Dave Williams roughing.
The penalties are for roughing to Kelly of the Flyers and Williams of the Leafs. The time there, 14:03. Took place in the corner. Williams coming in pursuit, helping Salming out. Then they squared off. Kelly moving in against Williams. John D'Amico trying to work his way in there. Look out, John.
From the face-off, the puck to Jim Watson, number 20 of the Flyers. Jim Watson coming out with Ed Van Imp over the blue line, up to center, rolled it over the line for Zaleski. Zaleski's shot right on. McRae stopped that. Salming right to Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk watched by Sittler. Salming covered by Zaleski. The puck goes loose. Zaleski trying to get it back to Ed Van Imp. Van Imp couldn't get a piece of it, but he recovers back at center ice to Jim Watson. Jim Watson moves up and shoots it in. Right on, McRae. And it's Ian Turnbull to Salming. Salming starting out with a pass to Sittler. They're playing five aside. Sittler over the line. There's his shot, and Bernie Clark stopped that. Joe Watson. And for Barber. Brought up by Bladen. To Zaleski, one man back, and he had Barber with him, and he didn't see him. Ian Turnbull, watched by Barber. Turnbull went down. Salming. Pass up to the blue line, went by Bladen. Joe Watson recovers and back in his own territory. For Gary Dornhofer, the puck is kept in. Sittler getting a chance over to done a shot. Bernie Clark stopped that. Gary Dornhofer starting out. Gary Dornhofer at his own blue line. Up to center. Over the line. Was hit. And Sittler gives it to Hammerstrom. Hammerstrom coming back. Over the line. Left it there. Barber gets it to the blue line. Sittler kept it in, but it was stopped by Tom Bladen. Bladen. Up for Dornhofer. Dornhofer and Barber. And Dornhofer's pass was behind Joe Watson. Bladen shoots it in. Kelly and Williams are back on the ice. And it's called back. 33 seconds remaining in the second period. 3-2 Philadelphia. Keon right onto McLeish's stick. McLeish coming up at center with Schultz. Shot the puck over the line. Shot by DuPont is wide. Blaine Stoughton watched by Clement. Clement checked him. Stoughton goes to the boards, and he's held there for a faceoff.
3:35 left to play, second period. 3-2 lead for the Flyers. And during our second intermission, Ed Van Impe will be along to talk with Dave Hodge. Fred Cusick and Don Earl and I will chat along the catwalk. And Howie Meek will be back with his look at the highlights of this second period.
Let the puck slide around back of the Leaf net. Now it comes back. Here's good enough for the shot. Dunn getting into a mix-up with Schultz.
Oh, Schultz is hammering Dunn with that right hand, and all Dunn is able to do is hang on at the moment. He's trying to get an arm loose, but Schultz has his right arm pretty well in control. Schultz came up on Dunn from behind, took him by surprise, I believe. Dunn wasn't expecting to have to get engaged in fisticuffs here, but that's the case. And Schultz got in some pretty heavy punching there before the linesmen were able to move in and try to separate the two. Schultz had been a pretty good boy up until tonight with only 4 minutes in penalties, 2 minors along the way. This is the fellow that sat out almost 8 full games during the regular season in penalty time and set an all-time penalty record. And even tonight, Bill, you can be up here scribbling a note, looking down at your paper, and you'd hear a chorus of boos, and you knew instinctively that Mr. Schultz must have stepped back on the ice for the Flyers. Now he steps into the penalty box. Watch again. We'll see if we can pick up how it starts. Dunn going into the corner. Here comes Schultz. Schultz levels Dunn with a check. We can't really see what happened after that, but Schultz came out of the corner, came up behind Dunn, and wanted to fight. 16:22 the time.
Philadelphia penalty to number 8, Dave Schultz. 2 minutes for high sticking and 5 minutes for fighting. Toronto penalty to number 4, Dave Dunn. 2 minutes for high sticking and 5 minutes for fighting.
Well, they both get
16:32.
high sticking penalties, minor penalties, and major penalties for fighting. 2 and 5.
Toronto Dave Dunn, 2 minutes high sticking, 5 minutes fighting.
That's done. Number 4 of the Leafs in the penalty box, adjusting his equipment. Schultz had a terrific grip on him. Didn't give him any room to swing that right hand.
Sealing and Alexander come out on the defense along with Ferguson, Lanny McDonald, and Earl Thompson, offsetting majors and minors, and they're allowed substitution, so they're at full strength. And it's Clark, Lonsbury, and Leach, along with DuPont and Goodenough. Clark tried to set Leach through. Alexander gets it up. Lanny McDonald is knocked down by Lonsbury. Leach gets the puck in, back of the Leaf net. Rod Sealing there. Sealing, back of the net. Philadelphia leading 3-2. Alexander's pass for Ferguson. Up to Lanny McDonald. Lanny McDonald gets a weak shot. And Goodenough chopped it out over the blue line. Sealing to Alexander. That's stopped. Ferguson trying to keep it in. They go to the boards. The puck comes loose. Lanny McDonald, a hard shot. And Perrant to Goodenough, up to Leach. Leach out for Clark, just a shade too far. Now Earl Thompson to Ferguson. A nice play by Ferguson, and he couldn't get around that Philadelphia defense. Sealing shot it in. It's brought out by Goodenough. Up to Clark. Offside at the Leaf blue line.
Another congregation meeting on the ice. Clark just getting set to take that shot. Now linesman John D'Amico has had a busy evening already. Right in the middle of it. keeping them apart. This good enough has played a strong game along that Flyer blue line. Ted Harris not suited up tonight. Eddie Shack, Brian Glennie, Bill Fleck, Gary Sabarin out of the Leaf lineup. Terry Crisp is another absent Flyer.
Here's the time to play in the second period, 2:24. And the puck is cleared down the ice, and Ed Van Impe is going after it. Over to Jim Watson. Jim Watson is checked by Ellis. The puck came out in front. Ed Van Impe failed to get it out. Flipped it over for Zaleski, and Zaleski gets it up to center ice. Goes over to Ian Turnbull. Leafs starting to put on some pressure again. Boris Kindrachuk. Up to Zaleski. Zaleski holding it against the boards. Play is called.
Kindrachuk coming in late on that check on Tiger Williams. Tiger looked surprised. He was. Now Ivan Cournoyer has scored the second Montreal goal to match one by teammate Guy Lafleur. So Montreal leads Vancouver 2-0 in the other quarterfinal game played tonight. That's in the second period.
Canadians are starting to roll after that layoff in the first series.
They've got the power.
Puck is cleared to the blue line and out by Bill Clement. Ian Turnbull shot it over to the left wing. Puck along the boards, Kindrachuk. And also number 20, Jim Watson, and that's where play will end. Right at the Philadelphia blue line with 1 minute and 40 seconds to go in the second period. 3-2, Philadelphia leading the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Fred Shiro projecting into the future, predicting that hockey will someday become the #1 sport around the world. Surpassing soccer, he feels that someday they'll have mammoth arenas. They'll even have a bullpen for the backup goaltender should they require him.
Goes back to the blue line, long shot wide of the net, and it goes into Joe Watson. Joe Watson off the boards, Zaleski knocking it out over the blue line, and it goes back to Salming. Salming at his own line. A pass for Turnbull. Kindrachuk watches him, only to have Turnbull pull away from him. Then he's checked by Kindrachuk. Leaf defense trying to get it out. Salming, a pass right on to Clark's stick. Clark over the line, over to Zaleski. Zaleski into the corner, stopped by Williams. Williams back of the net. Now Williams starting out. Couldn't get by Zaleski. Rick McLeish knocks the puck back. The Leafs just can't get that extra step. Salming is watched by McLeish. Still has it. Passed it to Turnbull. Turnbull up to Sittler. Sittler can't get by center. It's knocked back to the Leaf blue line. Ian Turnbull shot it over to Ronnie Ellis with 39 seconds. Here to an open wing. Clark after him. And Tiger Williams comes up to center. A long shot. Wide of the net. The rebound of McLeish. Up to Clark. Clark cleared it, but not out. Salming gets his shot. That's wide. 20 seconds has Philadelphia. Long shot. Goes to the corner. And that'll be icing called against the Flyers with 11 seconds left.
Borje Salming celebrated his 24th birthday a couple of days ago. Certainly Leaf fans hope he's going to be around for many years to come. Some of them right there hanging the sign up here early tonight. You have to wonder about some of the other players on the Leaf roster. More about that in a moment or two.
Clark lost the draw, but the Leafs couldn't take advantage of it. There goes the puck out to center ice. Hammerstrom's pass for Stoughton. Rolled in offside with Keon inside the blue line. Philadelphia lead 3-2. Face off outside the Philadelphia blue line. McLeish just shoots the puck into the corner, and there goes the bell to end the second period. Third period now. Lanny McDonald lost the puck. Lonsbury couldn't get it over the line. Brought up by Jimmy Watson. He shot it into the Leaf bench. Now we'll have a face-off back up at center ice. It's Bob Clark at center. Ross Lonsbury on the left wing and Reggie Leach on the right. Jimmy Watson and Ed Van Impe. George Ferguson, Lanny McDonald, Earl Thompson. Ed Van Impe moves up over center. Shot the puck in. McCray stopped it back of the net. Alexander checked by Clark. Clark tried to get it back and Lanny McDonald has it. Deep check by Clark. Lonsbury wrapped it right back in again. McCray stopped it. Left it there in the corner. Leach goes after it. Earl Thompson up for George Ferguson. Off the boards, out to center ice. And Ed Van Impe shoots it right back in again. There goes Clark after the puck. McCray wrapped it around on the boards. Leach for Clark. Gets it to Lonsbury. Back to Clark. Then Earl Thompson shoots it around on the boards for Lanny McDonald. Failed to get it out. And it went over the glass into the crowd as the Philadelphia Flyers start off really checking the Leafs to try to protect that 3-2 lead.
Well, they play with a world of confidence, and great credit to Fred Shiro. And the general manager, Keith Allen, doesn't get mentioned too often, but he's done a fine job. Mike Nicolak, the assistant coach, and Barry Ashby, the other assistant coach.
Right underway, the puck from Ian Turnbull to Borja Salmi over the blue line, up over the red line. Long shot. Bernie Perrant stopped that. Over to Joe Watson. Joe Watson just shoots it out to center ice. Goes back to Ian Turnbull. Ian Turnbull backs up. Over to Salming. Salming just shot it down the ice. That's going over the red line, and DuPont will touch it, icing against the Leafs.
If the Leafs should go out tonight, you have to wonder about the future of the Leafs. It has to be cloudy for, well, perhaps for Red Kelly. Let's start right there. 2 more years to go on his contract. Then you take players like Glennie, Shack, Flett, Ullman, Sabourin, McKinney, Favell, Jack Valaket waiting in the wings. You can anticipate a lot of changes on that Leaf club before next season rolls around. But this one's not over yet.
Hitler, Williams, and Ellis. It comes back to Bladen. Bladen took a shot. It's right in front of the net. That rolls near the goal. Barber tried to slip it in, and the Leafs shoot it out. Sittler going after it. The Leafs after him. They just shoot the puck in. Back of the net. Bladen around on the boards. Dornhofer to Barber. Up to McLeish. Rick McLeish rolls over center and wrapped it right back in again. Salming. As the Leafs will have to take all the chances. They trail by 1. Sittler coming up over the blue line, up to center ice. Stopped by McLeish. Joe Barber ran into Salming, and Barber went down. Bladen left the puck. The Leafs tried to get to it. Joe Watson off the boards, but not out. Williams kept it in. Comes back to Neely. Neely shot it. That deflected wide of the corner. Joe Watson off the board. Barber trying to get it out. And it goes to Bladen. Bladen off Dornhofer. Slides down the ice. Neely back to get it. And that's going to be icing.
17:33 left to play, regulation time. Third period coming up on Hockey Night in Canada, Tuesday the 22nd, quarterfinal game number 5. Vancouver at Montreal. That'll be seen nationally. And if another game is necessary in this series, it'll be Toronto at Philadelphia. And fans in Southern Ontario will be able to see that one. Rick McLeish wants us to say hello to his grandfather tonight, George McLeish from Cannington, Ontario. He said he'd get a boot out of hearing his name mentioned on the air. Not feeling too well. Get well soon, George.
Neely took a shot that gets knocked off the boards out to center ice. Jim McKenney's pass for Blaine Stoughton. Stopped by Andre Dupont. Gives it to Bob Kelly. Kelly's pass for Zaleski. And the puck is knocked back to Keon. Keon coming up. Too well covered by Dupont. And they go to the boards and play a stop. 17 minutes and 12 seconds remaining.
Bill, here's Zaleski. Didn't have a very profitable season when it came to collecting goals, but they tell me he hit about 20 or 30 goal posts along the way. Just one of those seasons when everything hit the post and stayed out.
Bob Neely, a long shot. Bernie Perrant stopped that to Andre Dupont. DuPont off Kelly. Dropped to Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk shot it over for Zaleski. Over the line with a shot. McCray stopped that. Zaleski's in there for it. Centered it, and Keon's got it. Keon coming back. A pass over the line for Hammerstrom. Hammerstrom shoots on the short side. It ends up in the corner. Zaleski has it. Hammerstrom getting up slowly. Pass over to Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk flipped it in off the boards. Kelly goes after it. Back of the net. Tried to center it. Hammerstrom missed a terrific body check from Clark. Blaine Stoughton couldn't get over the line. Now Blaine Stoughton again. Hammerstrom coming back. Long shot. Ernie Perrant gloves that to Jimmy Watson. Up to Kelly. Over to Clark. Over to Leach. Leach shoots one right on. McCray stopped that. Round on the boards to Blaine Stoughton. Stoughton cleared it up for Ferguson. Ferguson going over the line. Alexander. A pass into the corner. He's knocked off the puck, and Clark comes back. Clark knocked down by Sealing. Then Lonsbury gets over the line. He left it there. Earl Thompson off the board, but was knocked down. Ed Van Imp over for Lonsbury. Lonsbury shoots the puck in. Clark goes after Sealing. Sealing has the puck. Gets it over to Earl Thompson. Thompson bringing it out. At center. Nowhere near his teammate. Jimmy Watson knocked it right back to center ice. Rod Sealing a shot. Hit Jimmy Watson. Out for Reg Leach. He's checked by Earl Thompson, who shot it back in again. Jimmy Watson. Pass to Ed Van Imp. Up at center for McLeish. Stopped by Sealing. McLeish gets it again. Shoots it in. Wide of the net. Philadelphia lead 3-2 after 5 minutes of this third period. Bill Barber intercepts. Going over the line. Barber going in. Takes his backhand. Oh, he just missed the side of the net. Kept in again. And it's shot out to Thompson. Thompson ahead to Lanny McDonald too far. Bill Watson knocked him off the puck, and Gary Dornhofer passes one that Sittler had a piece of and then lost. Rick McLeish. Around to Tom Bladen. He's checked by Thompson. Joe Watson. Up to Bill Barber. Over to Dornhofer. Rolled it over the line. Dornhofer's got it again. Turns. And it's knocked off his stick. Back comes Ellis. Good shot. Fired it wide. The rebound up to McLeish. McLeish over the line. And Turnbull knocked it out. Dornhofer can't get to it. Now then Watson over to Bladen. Bladen for McLeish, and that ends up on Salming's stick. Salming to Sittler. He's checked. Now McLeish gets the chance. Coming down the ice, over the line. Zaleski over for McLeish. Roll it in front. He gets it back again. And it's deflected over. Ron Ellis has it. Ellis coming out to center. He's checked. Larry Goodenough cleared it back out to center ice. Ian Turnbull, a pass to Sittler. Darryl Sittler over the line with Williams. That's stopped by Goodenough. Here's Sittler getting a chance. Centered it. And there's nobody there. Bill Clement, Zaleski coming back over the line. And it's shot into the Leaf bench with 13:12 to go. Minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the third period. Philadelphia 3, Toronto 2. Puck goes back to Bob Neely. Bob Neely off the boards, out to center. Tapped there by Larry Goodenough. Over it goes to DuPont. DuPont's pass to Zaleski, and Zaleski just shoots the puck in wide of the Leaf net. Jim McKinney back of the goal. Off the board. Goodenough intercepts. Goodenough getting right in front of the net. And he couldn't get his shot away. Waited too long. Blaine Stoughton went to the board. Play is called.
Number 5, Larry Goodenough. That's a name to remember. He's a blossoming young star. Toronto native, the number 1 draft choice of the Flyers. The only rookie to make the club this year. From London, Ontario. Scored 12 points in 20 NHL games this season. His nickname, oddly enough, is Izzy. Izzy Goodenough. He certainly is tonight. Montreal 2, Vancouver no score. Third period, that lead holding up Lafleur and Cournoyer.
Dunn is back out on the defense now for the Leafs as Schultz is out there for Philadelphia. They've served their 7 minutes of penalties. Kindrachuk shot the puck back into Leaf territory. Inga Hammerstrom back of the net to Jim McKinney. McKinney passed to Dunn. Dunn coming up to center ice. He shot it over the line for Keon. Jimmy Watson trying to hold it with a skate. And play is called in the Philadelphia territory now to the left.
Speaking of that Flyer defense, I believe it was Joe Watson who felt all along that they're really very capable. Other people talk about that solid blue line core in Buffalo and the great bulwarks on that Montreal defense, but Watson feels that Flyer defense is much better than it's been given credit for.
Brian, I've noticed there are a lot of youngsters in the crowd here at the Gardens wearing Philadelphia Flyers sweaters.
Well, they're the Stanley Cup champions, and a lot of kids like to go along with the champs, but one final remark on that defensive core. They've been so solid there that Bernie Parent has only had to stop an average of 21 stops a game over the regular season.
That's how you win Vezina trophies.
In fact, he had 10 shots in one game against Minnesota, and he came in, pretended he was angry, and said, "What's the matter with you guys? Don't you have any confidence in me?"
Joe Watson, back of the Philadelphia Flyers goal. A pass on the right side for Clayton. Clark knocked it down the ice, went after it. McKinney handed it. Clark goes over the line, offside Lonsbury.
There's a lot of dentists around the country look at Bobby Clark and those close-ups, those missing teeth, and feel, boy, I could do wonders for that kid. He gets those teeth in, he looks pretty good.
Yes, he does.
There's a couple of Schultz fans in the crowd.
Leafs have possession. Rod Sealing getting it up to Ferguson. Ferguson knocks the puck over the line. Joe Watson for Clark. Clark shot it over for Leach. Leach getting in, takes his shot. That was stopped. The puck goes loose to Lonsbury. There's his shot, and that was knocked down by Alexander. Alexander comes back at center over the blue line. Alexander took his shot, and Bernie Parent stopped that on the short side.
That was a good rush by Alexander. Showed a good burst of speed and some determination to get up there and do something about this hockey game. Leach for the Flyers has also made some excellent rushes down that right wing. That shot may have taken Bernie Parent a little bit by surprise. Perhaps faked the pass there or was expecting a pass. There's the hard shot on Bernie Parent. Made him jump a bit.
Rick McLeish out there against George Ferguson. The puck is dropped. Shot by Alexander. Bernie Parent grabbed that. Now DuPont off the boards and out. Up at center ice, Sealing. A pass to Alexander. A long shot. Bernie Parent stopped that. The rebound. And Rick McLeish shoots it around on the boards for Bill Barber. Barber gets it out. Barber going down with Dornhofer. Off the boards for Dornhofer. And he tried to get his shot away. Sealing fell into the boards with the puck underneath him. But the Leafs were trapped. But it was a great individual effort by Rod Sealing.
Oh, that was a super play by Sealing. May have prevented a goal. Here's Barber to Dornhofer. Puck ricocheting off the boards. Dornhofer tried to feed it back, but a sliding Rod Sealing came in to block. 3-2. Philadelphia still clinging to that one-goal margin. 11:02 left to play regulation time. The Leafs have not scored since the 11-17 mark of the first period. Montreal now leading 3-0, goal by Peter Mahovlich.
Ian Turnbull back of the Leaf net with Darryl Sittler. Sittler coming out over the blue line up the center. Shot the puck in slowly. That's going to be called back for icing as Darryl Sittler shot it from his own side of center.
So discouraging to a team, Bill. Remember at the first of the show we mentioned how a team can come into a game knowing they're not going to score, generally speaking, more than 2 goals against Bernie Perron. The Leafs got there early. Stoughton at 2:47. Leach tied it up. Ellis at 11:17. Since then, well, Bernie's just been very steady there and hasn't really had to work all that hard. That's a good shot of us in that gondola, Bill. Did you shave?
Yes.
Shave closer next time. It shows.
That mustache of yours. The puck goes around into the corner, out on the wing. Barber kept it in, so did Dupont. Dupont shot it into the corner. Dornhofer rolled it in front. It hit Turnbull. Came back to Barber. Barber getting set. There's his shot. Hit the side of the net. Gary Dornhofer back to Barber. Barber still with it. Try to center to McLeish. And they hold it for a face-off. This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. We want the other guys first.
Camera. I guess they do.
Horace Kindrachuk, Zaleski, and Bob Kelly. McKinney. A pass to Keon. Keon with a pass to Hammerstrom. Hammerstrom is inside the blue line. Dunn gets it over to Blaine Stoughton. He fell. Zaleski going to the boards with Hammerstrom, and that's where play ends.
Looking at that gondola reminds us, Bill, there's more than just the 2 of us up here. We've got Stan Graham right behind us and Doug Stone just to the right of us. They've done a super job for us all season. Want those fellas know how much we appreciate it.
That's for sure, Brian. They certainly look after us. Puck brought up by Zaleski. Here's a chance for Clement. One man back. Clement over the line. Stopped. Centered it. And that goes into the corner. Kindrachuk went to the boards. Digs it out. Gunn has him tied up. Kindrachuk knocked it into the opposite corner. Clement then holds it there. McKinney has him covered. The puck goes loose. Keon can't get anywhere. The puck is cleared out to Blaine Stoughton, and Stoughton just shoots it down the ice. Bernie Perron steering it to Jimmy Watson. Up to Zaleski. This pass at center. Clark tried to get to it. Jimmy Watson getting over the red line off the leg of Clement. Here's a chance for Clark. Bobby Clark waits. And that was stopped by Hammerstrom, and Blaine Stoughton shot it to the blue line of Ferguson at center. Ferguson shot, hit a leg, and Reggie Leach comes back. A pass ahead to Ross Lonsbury over the line. Lonsbury shoots right on the rebound, and McRae stopped that. And they go to the boards with 8:51 remaining in regulation time, 3-2 Philadelphia.
Well, you can hardly fault McRae in this game. Gee, they're getting closer on us all the time. You can see along the gondola now some fellas waving down the far end. That's Gene Hart and Don Earl of the Flyers. Fred Cusick there. Ronnie Hewitt doing radio tonight. I don't know the others up here. Got some gate crashers.
They're all strangers. Here's a chance for Leach. He took a shot and it goes over to the far wing to Bob Neely, stopped by Reggie Leach. Tipped off stealing stick, so there's no icing called on the play. Into the corner, the puck goes loose, he's right in front. And Reggie Leach just shot it wide of the open net. Leach nearly gave one away there in their own territory. Ferguson, long pass to Thompson. There's the shot. Ryan Lonsbury shot it out. Alexander Goes back for it. Earl Thompson put everything he had into that shot, and it was just a little too high. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Two Flyers. Here's Errol Thompson on the replay, cranking up that slap shot. And he missed.
Rick McLeish out there with Dornhofer and Barber. You saw Barber and Neely walk back into that, or at least walk into the circle. That's why the play was called. We'll see them again. That's Rick McLeish. From Cannington, the puck goes right on Perrott. That was not dropped fairly. They'll do it again. All set to go. The puck comes back to Alexander. There's his shot deflected to Bernie Perrott. And it's tipped to the blue line. Sealing let one fly. Neely trying to center it with McLeish. Gets it over on the left wing. Barber knocked it out to center ice. Here's McLeish getting a chance over the line. Back to Dornhofer in his pass. And Neely knocked Dornhofer down. Alexander comes back. Checked by McLeish. Rick McLeish shoots it right back in again. Dornhofer goes after Sealing. Dornhofer lost it to Ferguson. Then it's right in front. McLeish got a whack at it. And back come the Leafs now. Ferguson at center. Over the line. Trying to go around Ed Van Imp. Bernie Perrott into the corner. Thompson is covered by McLeish. And there's no further play. 7 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third period. Philadelphia leading 3-2.
Bob Neely getting some repair work done by Guy Kinnear at the Leaf bench. Young defenseman. The Leafs counting on heavily for seasons ahead. See the frustration of Errol Thompson. Maybe you saw him jamming his stick at the Leaf bench, still thinking about that missed opportunity on the slap shot that rolls over Bernie Perrott's head.
Hitler against Kindrachuk. The puck comes back. There's Salming's shot. Kindrachuk stopped that with his skate. Salming, a pass over on this side. Turnbull couldn't keep it in. And Ian Turnbull goes back. Shot it ahead to Williams. Williams is covered. Kindrachuk into the corner. Sittler trying to center it. Puck along the boards. Andre Dupont couldn't get it out. Sittler trying to center it. Joe Watson. Up Philadelphia. A pass ahead to Zaleski. Up with Clement. Clement over the line. Borja Salming tried to flick it out. Here's a chance for Williams. Williams down the left wing. Long shot. Bernie Perrott stopped that. It's gone!
Ronnie Ellis, I believe, got the rebound. Got to it before Bernie Perrott could or any of the Flyers. We have a 3-3 tie. The Leafs trying to keep their season alive as Tiger Williams took the initial shot. Now watch this rebound carefully. Bounces off the glove. Here comes Ellis. Backhand shot. Bounces it in there. And slid heavily into the boards. Ronnie Ellis ties it up for the Leafs. Here's the shot that beat Bernie Perrott. And the Leaf fans are alive and kicking here, and so is their club. 13-23. Ellis scores.
Number 6, Ron Ellis. Assist number 22, Dave Williams. And number 21, Borja Salming. The time, 13:23.
13:23.
Ron Ellis
Salming
from Dave Williams and
With 6
Borja
minutes
Salming.
and 37 seconds remaining in the third period. The score of the Philadelphia Flyers 3, Toronto Maple Leafs 3.
tie, Ronnie Ellis gets his second goal of the game. It was Tiger Williams who took the first shot. And here's one time Bernie Parent could not control that rebound. And Ellis slipped in there, in behind the Flyer defense, and banged it in behind Parent to tie the score at 3-3. Montreal has gone ahead of Vancouver by a 4-0 score now. Savard got the fourth goal. Lafleur, Cournoyer, and Mahovlich the others. That's in the third period now. Things look rough for the Vancouver Canucks.
Play underway. The Leafs have tied at 3-3. Salming shoots the puck down into Philadelphia territory, and it's Tom Blayden. Back of the net. Shot it up for Zaleski. Ahead for Dupont. Dupont shoots the puck in. Philadelphia go after it with Dave Schultz. Turnbull around into Ellis. Ellis covered by Kindrachuk, and Salming has the puck. Up at center. Over for Sittler. Into the corner, and it's Blayden back of the net. Around for Zaleski. Shot it out off Salming's skate. Salming giving a bump. And the Flyers bring it out. Pass ahead to Schultz. Schultz shoots the puck in. Back of the net. Zaleski trying to center it. Puck is back of the net. Play is called. 5:42 remaining in the third period. It's a 3-3 tie.
There's the time. I guess a lot of the fans here in the Gardens will now be giving considerable thought to the possibility of overtime. Rushing out to phone the babysitters. Watch Schultz here as he battles with Salming. He takes a whack at him, knocks the stick and the glove right out of Salming's grasp.
Clark, Leach, and Lansbury for the Philadelphia Flyers. Clark won the draw. The puck to Lansbury. Lansbury shot it in back of the net. Clark's all alone. Bobby Clark in the corner. Centered it to the blue line. It's tipped offside. Jimmy Watson tipped it, but it was offside. He was outside the blue line. Now the Flyers will come out, but Bobby Clark was loose, Brian. There was nobody near him behind the net.
He's been all over the place tonight, as usual.
Lansbury knocking the puck in. Dunn gets it out to Hammerstrom. Hammerstrom goes over the blue line. Hammerstrom trying to work his way through. A weak backhand, and Bernie Parent covers that. Going to be a penalty here to Ed Van Impe.
Well, that goal by Ellis obviously gave the Leafs a life.
This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Well, Les. That's all right.
Philadelphia penalty number
2, Ed Van Impe. 2 minutes for slashing. The time 14:42. Ed Van Impe for slashing.
Ed Van Impe off for slashing at 14:42. 5:18 left to play, regulation time. Here it is. Hammerstrom cutting through. There's the slash by Van Impe. We'll see how important this penalty turns out to be right now.
Mark poked the puck. It comes back to McKinney. A shot deflected by Ferguson. Andre Dupont to Bobby Clark, and Clark just lifts it down the ice. Going back for it is Keon. Keon, Blaine Stoughton, Ferguson, Hammerstrom, and McKinney. Goes to McKinney. Jim McKinney coming out. The pass to Keon. Over the blue line. Up over the center. Over to Blaine Stoughton. Stoughton shot it into the corner. And it's picked up by Dupont. Too far for Bill Clement. Goes to McRae and McKinney. Rick McLeish is on the ice. A pass to Blaine Stoughton. Stoughton over the line, and it's offside.
Past games, the Flyers really haven't had to worry too much about the Leaf power play. If it was ever going to click, Red Kelly hopes it clicks right now.
Ronnie Ellis has been the big shooter for the Leafs with 2 goals. He's been consistent all season, Brad. Ronnie Ellis. Puck goes to Darryl Sittler. Over to Ron Ellis again. Over the line. Ellis takes his shot. Can't stop that hot shot. Comes back to the blue line. Turnbull shot it wide. Ends up back of the goal, and Williams went flying over Joe Watson.
That was a classic skate save by Bernie Parent on that hot shot by Ron Ellis. He does this so well. From the corner, there's the shot. Look at that right leg. Skate save, deflects that puck away and out of danger.
58 seconds left in the penalty to Van Imp. 4 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in regulation time. Clark and McLeish out there along with Jimmy Watson and Tom Bleeden. Sittler, Williams, Ellis, Salming, and Turnbull. Ellis was too well covered. Bleeden just clears the puck down the ice. Puck ends up back of the Leaf net. Salming after it. Salming trying to work his way out. Now here he comes. 4 of them up. Ellis is loose. Goes over the line for Sittler. Watson into the corner. Sittler with him. The puck comes loose to Rick McLeish. Rick McLeish at his own blue line to center ice. Rolls it over the line into the corner. Salming comes up with it. Salming working his way out. 19 seconds left in the penalty to Van Imp. Salming over the line, stops. Try to pass to Sittler. Sittler stops. Sittler back to Turnbull. A shot, and Bernie Parent got that on the short side. Now the puck comes back to Turnbull again. A shot. They hit McLeish. He's dumped. As the puck goes up at center. Ed Van Imp is back out on the ice. Salming over the line. Sittler right a shot. The puck is rolled in front. It goes over to the far wing. Tom Bleeden off the glass, out to center. Back for Sealing. Over for Thompson. He's checked by Bob Kelly. Kelly over the line with a shot. McRae stopped that. Into the corner. Lanny McDonald coming out to center. He's checked. Back for Kindrachuk. Over the line. Kindrachuk trying to cut in. Goes back to the net. He's grabbed. They have the puck against the board. Sealing falls down on top of the puck.
There's a play a moment ago, Bill. You could seriously question the referee on it. Rick McLeish trying to break away at his own blue line, and he was dumped, as you mentioned. Now watch right here. Turnbull just takes McLeish out of the play, upends him. McLeish looked around in disgust that there was no penalty called on the play, and I think he's still rather unhappy, although he's not a very emotional person over at the Flyer bench.
If he hadn't, he was gone. Kindrachuk lost the draw as Ferguson gets it to Alexander. 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in regulation time. A 3-3 tie. Alexander, a long shot. Bernie Parent loves that. Shot off the boards to the blue line. There's a drive wide of the net. Lanny McDonald missed it. Philadelphia get the puck up to center ice, and Rod Sealing. Over to Alexander. Alexander. Offside Ferguson.
Crowd reacting because DuPont came in late on Ferguson, and now the sticks are up. Lanny McDonald is in there, Dornhofer, Ferguson, Alexander, Kindrachuk, and Errol Thompson swatting at each other. DuPont has that stick brandishing in the general direction of several Leafs. Now here's Here's Errol Thompson going after Kindrichuk. The gloves are off there. And they're into the corner. Very few punches thrown. We have an eruption here now in the third period with only 1:55 left to play in regulation time. There's no way Thompson is going to be able to wrestle John D'Amico because he's stronger than 90% of the players. That's the linesman. Red Kelly up getting a better look at things. All the Flyers grouped along their bench, standing of course. Now, let's take another look at this replay. There's DuPont taking the late hit. The whistle had gone there. Took a late hit at Ferguson. Now he comes up with a stick on McDonald. And there's quite a mix-up there inside the circle. Kindrichuk is one player headed for the penalty box. Thompson is already in there.
We have 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining to play in regulation time, and it's all tied 3-3.
There's the time of the penalties, and here's the call.
Horst Kindrichuk, 5 minutes for fighting. Toronto penalty to number 12, Errol Thompson, 5 minutes for fighting. Time 18:05.
18:05. 5-minute fighting penalties to Kindrichuk and Thompson. That is not the penalty clock. And remember, during the regular season, Philadelphia set an NHL record for penalty minutes with 1,969 of them.
Keon Hammerstrom and Stoughton are coming out on the forward line for the Maple Leafs. Philadelphia Flyers have got Lonsbury, Clark, and Leach. Layden and Jimmy Watson. Leafs must win this one. Gordy McRae leaning on the
Well, if
crossbar.
it wasn't for McRae, Bill, midway through this game when he made several excellent stops, there wouldn't be any question of who's going to win this hockey game. Now it's
after
3-3
the
tie.
second period, Brian, when the Leafs were outshot 17-8. That only gave up one goal. Jimmy Watson back of the net with 1:50 to go. Regulation time. Layden to Jimmy Watson. Moving up with Leach. A pass for Leach. Offside.
Watson looking for the forward Leach, breaking in behind the Leaf defense, and he almost got away with it. Leach has had a terrific game for the Flyers tonight. Guess that I'll be watching up in the Flin Flon Hotel.
1:43 remaining in regulation time. Back it goes to Jimmy Watson. He shot it in. McRae gloves that to Dunn. Dave Dunn, a pass for Keon. He just gets rid of it to center ice. Jimmy Watson shot it back in again. Jim McKinney. He shot the puck up for Hammerstrom. Hammerstrom was stopped. It's over the line. Clark, it's offside. It's called by the linesman. He had his arms straight out, then he raised it, so it has to go to the official. Makes the final decisions on those.
It wasn't a very loud whistle. You couldn't hear it up here. I don't know as Clark could hear it. But he hesitated. You're beginning to wonder why he didn't take his shot on goal, but now you know why.
Well, when the official has his arms out parallel to the ice, that indicates really that it's onside, but he then raised his arm in a hurry and it gets to blow the whistle. 1:22, 3-3 tie. Clark wins the draw. Andre Dupont, a long shot. Gray stopped that. And the Leafs just get rid of it again to center. A pass intercepted by Hammerstrom. Stopped by Larry Goodenough. Number 5 up to Reggie Leach. For Clark. He pokes the puck into Leaf territory. Salming around on the board. Stopped by Goodenough. And it's deflected wide of the Leaf net. Goes into the corner. Stoughton is checked. Back to Clark. Clark took a shot, hit the goalpost. There's another shot right in front of the net. It's at the blue line offside. Bobby Clark let one fly and that hit the post.
McRae obviously didn't see it, as you'll note from his reaction. Bobby Clark getting set here. Snapshot from near the boards. There it is, off the goalpost. Look at McRae look around him. Split second later saying, oh my goodness.
Clark lost the draw, but it goes to Jimmy Watson. Lonsbury couldn't get it, and it goes into Philadelphia territory. Ed Van Imp around to Reggie Leach. Leach can't get it out. Clark back for it. Leach trying to forecheck quickly. Clark to Ed Van Imp. Ed Van Imp kicked it out to Reggie Leach. Up with Lonsbury. Lonsbury knocked the puck in. It goes to the corner. Leach gets it right on the Williams stick. Williams with Salming and Sittler at center. Here's the long shot. Wide. And Bobby Clark has the rebound. He shot it to the far wing. Leach couldn't get to it. Sittler over for Ellis. Ellis over the line. For Williams. They went between his legs. Ed Van Imp up to Clark. Clark. Then to Jimmy Watson. Watson. Offside Reggie Leach. First overtime.
Here comes Schultz.
Bill Clement will be at center. Schultz on the left wing and Zaleski on the right. Keon with Hammerstrom and Blaine Stoughton. Dunn and McKinney on the defense. DuPont and good enough for the Philadelphia Flyers. The puck is back in Leaf territory. Dunn overskates the puck. It goes to Schultz. Centered it right in front. Clement took a whack at it. Goes to Blaine Stoughton. Stoughton gets it up at center. It goes to the far wing and it's brought back by Clement. He rolls it in. He's knocked down. Schultz after McKinney. Blaine Stoughton checked by Zaleski. It goes over to the far wing. Clement goes after it. Clement, kicked away by Keon. And Schultz missed it. Blaine Stoughton coming back for the Leafs. Fakes his shot. Back for Keon, and the Flyers have it. 3-on-2. Here they come, over the line. Dave Schultz going right in front of the Duplex. Goal! It's all over.
Louis DuPont with that wild dance has wrapped it up for the Philadelphia Flyers, and they have defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs in overtime 4-3, and they have also won this series in straight games. A jubilant band of Philadelphia Flyers now advance into the next round of the playoffs, and a very dejected band of Toronto Maple Leafs line up now to congratulate the winners. Here's the play. Dave Schultz engineered it beautifully, moving well into the corner. McKinney backing in. Schultz sees DuPont. There's an opening through the legs of Gord McRae, who played extremely well through most of this game, only to see DuPont slam it through his legs in overtime, and the Flyers win it 4-3. There's Bernie Perrant shaking hands with all of the Toronto Maple Leafs and all the other Flyers in that group. Perrant and Doug Favell, old friends, converse briefly. So a goal by
greatest sight in
DuPont.
hockey, Brian, as far as I'm concerned. Athletes who have hammered each other, and then at the end they're shaking hands.
The organist playing Old Lang Syne. Good luck Flyers is flashed on the board here at the Gardens. There's the hero for the Flyers, Moose DuPont, scoring the winning goal, waving to the crowd. The Flyers win it in overtime, 4-3 over
Time
Toronto.
of the goal was 1:45. From Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, the Stanley Cup playoffs.